You ain't never been a jealous type. Popped up and find out. That's with me and it might change your life. It gets real and it's so feeling tight. Cause I'm coming with the real. You know I like to chill. Baby, keep it real. You know how you feel. Ain't no changing up, switching up. Baby, what's up, my parties? What's up, my lovelies? Now that I know you're doing pretty lovely, let's get to this party on me. Basically, a lot of talk has been going around about the Wendy Williams and her health and so forth and so on. And I get it. And I'm here to talk about it. Yeah. So you're welcome to the His House. You know how we get down. We just talk about things. Get my opinion on things. And then sometimes you find out my opinions be truthful. And sometimes I just be talking. Period. And most things are allegedly. Or most, I'm going to say, allegedly until we find out they're true. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just did a couple other videos, dropped a couple other videos. Y'all definitely go check them out. Yeah. So this video, and yeah, that's me. Ooh, was that a firecracker? Oh. Anyway. Man, it's rain. It's crazy. So anyway, at the end of the day, Wendy Williams. Let's talk about Wendy Williams. Me, it's very sad. It's very unfortunate. It's very tragic. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, right? I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's very crazy. Some people are calling it karma. Some people are like, well, she came for so many people. She came for so many people's juggler. It's karma. I do feel like it's a version of karma. Like, of course. But I feel like it's deeper than that. I feel like it's deeper in that, like, as far as the industry deep. And it goes with contracts and a lot of different stuff. Selling your soul. Not saying she sold her soul or signing contracts. I'm just saying that's what I feel. Because I wasn't there. Baby, I've been left at the door. I wasn't there. So, and yeah, it's not really a laughing matter. But in that defense, I can say I have experienced people that have had dementia. And it's definitely not pretty, right? But I will say I do feel like it was caused by the traumatic ending of her show, her marriage. I just feel like it was a lot for her. And I feel like that triggers a lot of people. And that's why I just did a video of never give up. Like this time. And like, she just stayed strong, kept persevering. She probably would, get through this. But I feel like, yeah, it was a toll. Because here she is spreading the tea on everybody else's business. And despite the fact that she probably knew about her own business that was going into play, she still had a man around. And if you don't know, she seems to be a woman who wants a man around. She still had her show. She still was at the top of her game. Then in a matter of moments, everything flashed before her eyes. It was publicized about the alleged affair and love child of her spouse, her public shaming that she's no longer in office on TV land. That's a blow. And so with that being said, I feel like it let her be more vulnerable to certain attacks. And I feel like she also could be under spiritual attack and entities. Sometimes it's dementia. Sometimes it's other spiritual stuff. I'm first to witness it. I've once experienced something dealing with dementia to where I could see like, oh, it's deeper than that. I know one person with dementia, several people with dementia were used to break me down because It was people that I really cared about, and they was the spiritual attacks. If you're not spiritual, get off the live now. Get off the video now. Couldn't get me personally, so they went for the next best thing. And here we are with a vessel that's kind of here but kind of not here. It's at a vulnerable place. Let's use it to our advantage. So I personally have experienced possession in dementia. And yeah, they be like, oh, that's part of dementia. Have you ever heard of people switching? Like they may say something off the wall one minute, the next minute they back to their old self. To me, I feel like that's a form of body snatching. There's plenty of spirits out here looking for a body. And if you start seeing people not acting the same, not doing things the same, not catering the same as they used to, sometimes they be hosts. Now, whatever reason, for different reasons. Sometimes it's because they didn't fulfill a duty, a contract. Sometimes it's because they didn't bring enough souls. Sometimes it's to get back at somebody else. It's a lot of different reasons. To be honest, I feel doing some spiritual research on Wendy and people talking about her, discussing her, there's supposed to be somewhat of an entity attachment to Wendy. And that's kind of where she looks like she kind of looks like it. Some reason when it happens, sometimes, not saying this in her case, I'm just speaking allegedly, when people get possessed or taken over by an entity or inhabited by an entity, it's crazy, but they start looking like that. It's crazy. I know a person who aged overnight. They're in their 50s, but they're looking like they're in their 80s. Wendy, whole shape starts shifting. Like her body. And I feel like that's just how what is inhabiting her kind of looks like. Now, I recently shout out to Neoshi? I'm about to definitely link up with her one of these days, right? Or even just check out her channel. But she does this thing where she gets attachments and entities away from people for whatever reason. Now, I feel like she may not even want to tackle that situation because I feel like it's deep. But I feel like she would. Because at the end of the day, people have free will. And it's so crazy. Before I felt like I had encountered someone very close to me that had an entity attached to them. I had envisioned them coming to me talking about they was giving up. They couldn't do it no more. And I thought they had passed on. And I cried, I boo-hooed. Excuse me. It wasn't until later when I called this and that I found out they wasn't gone. But a person can be physically here, but their soul could be like gone. And I've even did a Reiki session for that person, trying to heal them, this and that. And they even asked me, has this person sold their soul? Because their soul is shattered. And I was like, I don't know. And they said either that or something really traumatic happened in their childhood. What happened in their childhood? And I feel like I probably did, but that person didn't really delve into me too much. But I do know some instances about their childhood, not a lot. So, in the case with Wendy, jumping off topic, I feel that it's sad, it's unfortunate. I do feel like some of it's karma because she did have a loose lips. Even though I do have loose lips too sometimes, but I feel like in the thrill of power, and she was up there with the A-list, I feel like she may have done some things or said some things that pushed her further to the top. And in that act of saying those things, doing those things, there's an even trade-off to where some people suffered. And with that being said, I feel like she was higher up, like, for a reason. Like, you ain't getting that fame, you ain't getting that popularity, that push up, just frying noodles and, using chopsticks. I feel like you have to put in some work behind the scenes. And if you don't know, of course, Wendy was a very spiritual person, because she often, and a lot of times, I mean, most of us are, but a lot of times she would call stuff before it happened. Like, some things Wendy would say, I'd be like, yep. She'd be dead on the money with a lot of things. So it's unfortunate, because as soon as she said that thing about Tabitha husband, this and that, even though I kind of agree, but at the same time, some men don't want to work. It was just like a downward spiral. And then stuff started coming out about her husband. And she started getting put on Front Street. I have also realized, like, sometimes you can't really come for certain people. I'm not saying that the other person did anything, but I will say some people are protected and highly favored in the spiritual realm. And when you come for certain people, it can end you. And I know it's crazy, because I think I've had attachments to, like, love. There was like a curse on my life when it came to love. And I really don't want to get too much into it, but it was like a lot of people who cared for me deeply were taken from me, and in some form or fashion. And even in acknowledging that, but then some of them was fake too. I ain't gonna lie, some of them was fake, and a lot of them I didn't even care about. But I thought they cared. Maybe they didn't. But some of the stuff I heard that happened to some of these people that hurt me, made me cry, I found out later, and my heart broke for these people. Even though I kind of disowned them, I would wash my hands from them. Now, did I do anything? No. I was just like, man, I'm never going to get a call from that person again. I'm never going to worry about that person again. Found out they was in a coma, near death, like crazy stuff. So part of me with the winning will, part of me feels like it's entity related. So which that means you could be talking to a person and then you're actually talking to somebody else in the midst of that. Do I feel like she can get help and recover? I do feel like anybody like that can get recovered, but it's like a lot of work that has to be done to get that. And a lot of it does deal with the industry, and some of it does deal with karma. And a lot of it deals with her feeling defeated. Because even recently, I felt defeated. Like, you can easily feel defeated on things. But at the end of the day, you're never really defeated unless you quit. So, like I said, I had the person I thought that has an entity attachment, right? Because I've actually talked to the entity. That's why I said what I said. But like I said, it came to me in a dream and was like, I can't do this no more. I quit. And I was even at the point, especially when you have a high calling, a high influence, high power, of course, something wants to take control of you, right? I was having a moment to where I was like, man, I'll quit before I deal with this another day. And when I say quit, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do something to myself. But it was just like, I don't know. I just didn't want to do certain things anymore because it just felt like too tough. Henceforth, I did the video on never give up. Because once you give up, that's when they got you. Because to be honest, she could have been untouchable if stuff hadn't got to her the way it did. If you don't know, entities, things, stuff can't really attach to you unless you're in a dark place, and that comes with shame, guilt, doubt, a lot of low vibrational stuff. Because even now, she's still looking for a man, and it's so crazy because the and I believe her. Some people really want a man. Even the person that was attached to an entity, they wanted a man so bad. And I never knew that, but some people really have to. And I thought it was to feed off of, because in my opinion, the person never really cared too much for men like that, you know. Um, she was ruthless. But and even Wendy, if she know your husband cheating and you really can't care too much, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's crazy how life can overtake you and you really don't even care for real. You know what I'm saying? Because even the thing that I feel like almost took me out again, mentally, spiritually, like I don't even care about the stuff for real. But it's just like I was just tired of all the foolishness that came with it. You know what I'm saying? So the main thing is, if Wendy wants to get out, she needs to reach out to certain people who can help her. For one, that Neoshi. If you don't know who Neoshi is, I think I said her name wrong. Oh Lord. But she deals with spiritual attachments, and she can release them from people's bodies, people's souls, people's spirits, and they can move on. And when I say entity, sometimes it's just dead people. You know, basically, sometimes it can be demonic. Sometimes it can be dead people. Most of the time, it's demonic. Most times, in her opinion, listen to her, she says she feels like most of them are just dead people. And I believe that, because even when people talk about ancestors and stuff like that, a lot of that just ghosts, dead people, right? So, but I do feel like, because even when I attached to I experienced the entity or whatever talking to, because the person, I was talking to one person, they told me to not really talk to them because I don't know who I would be talking to. That's came out of their mouth, right? And I was like, okay. So it was like they even know that I know. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. But the person was very, very close to me, and I had to detach from them. But it really came after I stopped caring. A lot of times I'll be a buffer to some people. Sometimes you just be a buffer to people, a protection of people, and then we just release. You know, people don't realize how much protection you gave them. And I feel like that distance kind of did, you know, send them in a way that kind of was a spiral for them, one of their spirals. And that's one of the reasons I did want to reach out to Neoshi, but I don't even know if I want to. But she also does past lives, and I am interested in that because I had a past life situation one time, experience, when I was in meditation at this, like, what is it? Like a Buddhist monk temple. I don't know how to explain it. But we used to go to different places and practice meditation and stuff like that. And they had this little chime bowl, and they were dong on this bowl. And I actually had a flashback of me being white at one point. And it was far back. I would say like 1800s. I don't know. And that just always stuck with me. I was like, oh, this stuff really does happen. It wasn't like I was looking for it. I don't even know how it happened, but it was amazing. So she does with past life attachments, because a lot of these entities attached to you from past life journeys, which when I get off this, I'm going to have to go watch one of the video because she's just so amazing. And it's so crazy because I was hearing a snippet of it on TikTok. I haven't fully watched one all the way through. But it's so crazy because when you're dealing with an entity, they can change the voice. And so when you watch Neo, let me look up her channel because I need to stop calling her wrong because she has a YouTube channel. Now some people, if you're not into spiritual stuff and possessions and all that, don't believe it's real, then you may want to check her out, but don't shoot the messenger. What is her name? I saved her on my anyway, I don't know right now. I think it's NY. Oh, anyway, she was on Tasha K show. She came to Tasha K show. Within the last 3-4 months, her and Tasha K said she's thinking about doing it too. But she helps with healing and she helps a lot of people out. And she's a child of God, period. And so I feel like something like that would help Wendy. Because one fun fact about me, which I feel like I deal with, is one of the reasons why I deal with a lot of stuff I deal with. Despite my spiritual background, I used to actually want to be like Neoshi or Naomi, even though I'm saying her name wrong. And especially when it happened to someone so close to me. But even before that, no, I think it was around the time it started happening to somebody close to me. I had wanted to be a person who got rid of entities from people. Because a lot of people be like, oh, that would never happen, never exist. But it happened to me, and it was more than once. To be honest, I'll tell that story another time. But one almost tried to take me out. So, yeah, it can be very scary, very personal. It was a very same person. Now I mean, think about it. So, yeah, I just, pray for Wendy's healing. I know she's there somewhere. And I feel like that's part of the dimension of the fragmentation that goes on. But I just know Wendy's a strong person. I feel like she's just really giving up. And that's the worst thing you can do for anybody. So if we learn anything from Wendy, is never give up. And Wendy, if you're in there somewhere, just take your power back. Period. That's all I can say. I wish her the best. Got your body on me, now I'm feeling like me. I can't help what I'm making me feel. Got me so pressed and it's a big deal. I'm never pressed by nobody else. And it's just me that I've never felt. Baby, can you be mine or can I be yours? And if not, baby, you can there's a door. Can you feel what I'm saying? Can you feel?